All right, so biologists biologists agree that human beings evolved from fish, but they disagree about which species of fish. Okay, so people are like, all right, yeah, we evolved from fish, but some people think we came from this species, some people think we came from another. Cool. Since biologists agree that frogs are definitely related to the species of fish from which human beings evolved, on the basis of a close match between the mitochondrial DNA of lungfish and that of frogs, Dr. Stephen Hoyt claims that this ancestor must be a lungfish. Okay, so we're saying, like, hey, these people also agree that we definitely came from the same species of fish, or frogs came from the same species of fish that humans did. And we're saying that there's a close match of lungfish. So this one person at least thinks we come from lungfish. Dr. Grover, on the other hand, contends that mitochondrial DNA evolves too rapidly to be a reliable indicator of relationship between species over a long period of time, and citing that close chemical matches between the hemoglobin of cholincasts, a saltwater fish, and that of tadpoles, claims that human beings must have descended from calicasts. Okay. Which of the following most accurately describes the role played in the dispute above by the proposition that frogs are definitely related to the species of fish from which human beings evolved? Okay, so our conclusion here is, since biologists agree that frogs are definitely okay, so our conclusion is that they
Was it the first
disagree
sentence?
about what?
Oh yeah, I was just saying it's the first sentence.
Yeah. And then our statement that we're asking about is frogs are definitely related to the species of fish. So why do we care about frogs being related to species of fish? That this ancestor must have been. And then Dr. Grover, on the other hand, and that. Okay, so I guess like my prediction here is so we're saying that biologists agree that frogs are definitely related to the species of fish from which human beings evolved. I feel like it's support for our conclusion, but then it goes into explain like, but we even disagree about which fish that is.
Mhm.
So here I'm going to read. Okay, so A says, since it implies that human beings are not descended from lungfish, it is cited as evidence against the claim that human beings descended from lungfish. No, I don't like that. Did you like A?
No.
Yeah, we're not applying that. B says, since it implies that human beings are not descended from, it is offering, no. B's wrong for the same reason.
I picked C, but it's wrong.
It is offered as evidence for the contention that human beings must be descended from either lungfish or, okay, so what does contention mean?
I feel like isn't like point of contention means like point of disagreement?
It's like the concession, right? So is offered as evidence for the concession. This isn't yeah, human beings must descended from either lungfish or coatheris. I don't even know what that word is not a concession. But also, we don't even conclude that, right? Even
What
if
is that?
it's
What really are we mean by like concession? Meaning like they're both sides are giving up
like
their
a concession would be like, despite this, I still think we should do this or whatever. So a concession, if I said like, despite it being really hard, I'm going to go to law school.
Mhm.
Despite it being really hard would be the concession. Like I'm granting the other side of something.
Oh. Oh, honestly, I think I chose C then for like a word misunderstanding.
Okay. It is offered as evidence for the contention that, and also, even if we read that as, even if we, what did you think that contention meant?
Like I read that as it is offered as evidence like for the, like their disagreement that like human beings must be descended from either lungfish or like
Okay.
that,
So
which is why
even if we think that, does that actually make sense?
In my head, yes.
So do they disagree that we come from frogs? Do we use the frogs as evidence that we disagree?
Oh, no.
No.
No, that doesn't make sense. And
Cool.
that's why D is the right answer, because
It is an assumption that both parties to the dispute use, yes, we use it as a starting point for our arguments, because we say like, yeah, and we agree about this first sentence, we even agree about this second sentence, but then that's where we go our separate ways.
yeah, I just honestly for C, I had the idea of D, but I just like didn't, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was
no,
just
absolutely. And you're never gonna like, I like applicable learning.